Bob. So no trouble. We won't have any problem copying you this morning. And well, I'm glad that you're going to miss the bulk of the storm anyway. You say it's already past you now to off the Gulf?
Roger. It actually ended up further out in the Gulf. So during the night, we had just a bit of rain, hardly any wind. The path within about an hour to stop. Rain is totally dry right now with the sunshine inside. So it's like nothing at all.
Well, I guess that's good for you, but probably not too good for Pensacola. And I noticed that it's headed up right towards Jack there, K4YDB. So he may end up with a lot of rain out of this event anyway, and perhaps some wind. Anyway, glad to. How's your wife this morning? Have you heard any words there, Bob?
About the same. They're looking after her, giving her some new medication, and she is on oxygen. So we're helping her out over there. I didn't go over there because I'm not allowed to COVID unit, so there's no point. I may go in a couple of days, right?
Well, I know it is burdensome to you, and we are thinking about her and keeping her in our prayers, and that's about all we can do at this point. So anyway, hopefully she'll get better quickly. Glad to have you be able to join us this morning, Bob. K2SJP. W5OG will be starting up the net here at the top of the hour. Any other early birds around that would like to check in? W5OG.
WA6LJS, W4PUO.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee. WA6LJS.
Roger. Are you running the logger this morning? I've got some issues. A lot of phone calls going to be coming in, so I guess I'll want to be dropping out early.
Yeah, I'm not running it. Lee on N5BE is the net logger. I'm just kind of backing him up a little bit, but I'm sure he hears you. You're booming in here. So he'll put you up at the top as a short timer then, over.
Roger, I'll give him a call. Thank you, John. N5BE, W4PUO.
Yeah, W4PUO N5B. I got you moved up to number 3, Lee, if that's okay.
That'll be fine. Could be getting calls anytime here, though.
Okay, very good. Well, if you don't answer, we'll know what happened. We'll keep you on the list.
Thank you. K2SJP, W4PUO. I've got you at 5.9, not the strongest signal on the band, Bob, but pretty good. W4PUO.
W4PUO. K2SJP. Okay, yeah, the antenna is down at the 22-foot level, and point is north and south. That's against the non-storm that's going on. We had no storm. It was out on the Gulf and went past us already. So we lucked out.
Yeah, did it cross over Florida in the central region and where is? I haven't looked at the news this morning, Bob. W4PUO.
Up around Tallahassee, I believe now, and it's picked up some speed. I think it's running 90 mile an hour wind. So we were very lucky because where I am in the area, I got a parallel interest coming out on the Gulf, much further out than Hudson Shore like instead of here.
Yeah, thanks for that.
K2SJP, WA6LJS.
WA6LJS, K2SJP. Good morning, sir. And they come in pretty good because we have the antenna north south. We're running the amplifier, and you're about a 5 right now.
Yeah, QSL, you're a good 5.7 with the antenna down at 22 feet. So it works. I know I've operated a number of times with it when there was some high winds with my tower cranked down to around that level. The hex beams perform well even at that altitude, but you're a very Q5. K2SJP WA6LJS.
Okay, John. Report. K2SJP.
K2SJP, W5ABI, 5'8", Bob.
You're also about a 5'8", Joe. W5ABI coming in real good with your beautiful X-beam. K2SJP.
Thanks for the report, Bob. I hope you do okay with this hurricane. K2SJP, W5ABI, standing by for net.
W5ABI, W4PUO, you're 5 and 7 here, Joe.
Yeah, W4PUO, W5ABI. Yeah, thanks for the report, Ray. Over.
This is W5OG. You'll be starting the Air Force's Flyers Club down this frequency in about 4 minutes. Top of the hour. K4YDB, Charlie, are you up yet? W5OG. Good morning, Charlie. Do you have the? Did you get the question all okay? Okay, mighty fine. Thank you for that. W5OG.
Good signal, Dale. W5OG, W5ABI.
You too, Joe. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. W5ABI, standing by for net.
W5ABI, WA6LJS. Well, you're 10 over, Joe.
Yeah, you're about the same, John, WA6LJS. Yeah, you're about the same, so it's going to be a good net, W5ABI.
Okay, it is now 10 o'clock here in the central part of the country, and that means it's time for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. Meets on this frequency at this time every day of the year. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. My name is Dale, Delta Alpha Lima Echo. I'll be the net control for the net this morning. Members of our group are active duty, retired, and veterans of the military air forces from all branches. They include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, support personnel, pretty much anyone involved with supporting the missions of the aviation missions of our armed forces. We also like to welcome visitors to join us on the net. The purpose of our group is to promote fellowship between those of us radio amateurs who devoted a portion of our lives supporting the missions of our air forces. This is a control net. To contact net control, please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. We have a very nice website. You can find out all about the group. It's airforcesflyersclub.org. Once again, airforcesflyersclub.org. We have our list of those that would like to join us on the net on NetLogger this morning. N5 Bravo Echo. Lee is in Arlington, Texas, just my neighbor to the west, is running NetLogger for us, and he has the list there. And but we will take over the air check-ins here just shortly. But the format is to go down that list off of NetLogger and then come back around for a 73-round time permitting. There is another net that follows ours, a couple of kilohertz up, but not until an hour and a half from now. And we also have a Echo link. I don't have it up right now. AFFC node on on Echo link, the conference tab of Echo link there. So you can we'll switch over to Echo link after the net for a short get together there, just to test out our abilities to use Echo Link to back up the HF. So far on the list this morning, I have the following stations. I've got Uncle Cliff, W5PIX, and he's transitioning over to the Mobile, so we'll hopefully he'll be ready by the time we get to him. High on the list is W4PUO. He'll use a short timer this morning. I've got the net logger N5 Bravo Echo. And I see John is in there, WA6LJS with a good signal. Ray is next, WB2JJO. Then the operations officer, KF7GJO. Good morning to you, Carl. I've got the Commander Bob, K1BOB. And the other Professor Bob, NX6RG. And Wild Bill, W2WLD. Good morning, Bill. And I've got Bob, K2SJP, hunkered down in the I guess the secure hurricane shelter mode out there in near Tampa, Florida, and he is operating with his antenna at a nested position, but with a good signal. We've got Joe, W5ABI, and Charlie, K4YDB, and Charlie is running the net live stream on YouTube. For those of you that would like to look at the net in progress from Charlie's perspective, he also has the question of the day listed up there. So you can bring up YouTube, search for K4YDB, and select live stream, and you'll be able to see the ever-exciting question of the day. Last but not least, KF0OPE Mike up in Nebraska. Good morning to you, Mike. All right, any others that would like to check in that I did not call, you're welcome to check in over the air at this time. W5OG, go ahead. Deafening sound of silence there. All right, out to you there, John, WA6LJS. Put a call out from the West Coast if you would.
Wilco, this is WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Thursday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. All's quiet out west.
All right, thank you. Thank you, John. How about Bill, Captain Bill, W2WLD, put a call out from New York, from Scotia there, W5OG.
Yeah, Wilco, Dale. This is W2WLD, upstate New York. Relaying for net control from the Air Force's Flyers Club. We're taking check-ins, members or guests. Please call now.
Kilo Delta Niner, Hotel Quebec Delta.
Kilo Delta Niner, Hotel Quebec Delta. Good morning. What's your name, sir?
The name's Bruce. I'm from northern Wisconsin, over.
Bruce in northern Wisconsin. Welcome aboard. You're going to stay with us today on the net?
Negative. I'm just doing a drive-by. I heard you guys on. You mentioned Air Force Net. The reason I checked in was I just came back from San Antonio watching my granddaughter's graduation from Air Force, so basic. So I just had to throw a shout out there.
Well, congratulations, Bruce, and we appreciate your granddaughter's service. Do you want to be called on, or are you just hit and run? By the way, you're 10 dB over S9 into Albany, New York.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, you're 10 over here in Wisconsin, too. Beautiful signal. I just got to catch your call sign, please.
Yeah, it's Whiskey 2, Whiskey Lima Delta.
Roger. We got you in the log. Well, thanks for taking my call. Really appreciate it, you guys, and thanks for what you're doing.
You're welcome, and thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Break. Back to you, Dale. I just got one, and Bruce is not going to stay with us. W5OG, W2WLD.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill and Bruce. Congratulations to your daughter if you're copying me, W5OG here. Congratulations to her, and thank her for her service there. Mighty fine. All right, let's let's go ahead and get the question of the day. Well, let me just take a quick standby and see if there's anybody else that needs to be a short timer. So far, I got our Mobile W5PIX and Lee, who needs to leave early, W4PUO. Any others that need to be a short timer this morning? You got call now, W5OG. I heard somebody way down there. Was it a check-in, or you need to be a short timer? Over. Well, you're very light with me. I could not get a call sign there. You might try it one more time. Well, here, K6 Whiskey Foxtrot Victor. Do I have that right there? Are you in there? W5OG. Motorcycle portable. Okay, well, I did hear you that time. So we've got you, and I'll put you up at the top of the list there. Glad to have you join us there, Bob. All right, the question of the day. We had a question on number of aircraft shot down in World War II and in the Pacific, and we were talking about that yesterday. So I thought we would continue with our history of the World War II Pacific theater with this question. Operation Hailstone, and many of you probably are familiar with Hailstone. We've talked about it a time or two, I think, before. But it's probably appropriate that we remember it and bring it up again. The Operation Hailstone was a massive United States Navy air and surface attack on the 17th and 18th of February, 1944. Conducted as part of the American offensive against the Imperial Japanese Navy in the Pacific. In all, during the 2 days of Operation Hailstone, a total of 45 Japanese ships were sunk. More than 220,000 tons of shipping, a 2-day record for the entire war. And my question concerning Operation Hailstone, which of the following islands was Operation Hailstone located? Which of the following islands was the location for Operation Hailstone? Was it A, Peleliu? Answer A is Peleliu. Answer B, Bravo, is Koror. K-O-R-O-R, for those of you that are keeping score. The island of Koror, or was it Charlie, the island of Guam? Charlie is Guam, and answer Delta is Truk. T-R-U-K, Truk Lagoon. So either Palau, Koror, Guam, or Truk. That's the question of the day. So let's go to our mobile there first, W5PIX. If you're in there and able to respond, go ahead there, Cliff. W5PIX mobile, W5OG.
Well, thank you, Dale, and good morning to all the flyers. And, boy, I'll tell you what, some very good questions is that you and I both been on the island of Guam. The only island I didn't make it to was Truk. So I'm going to say Truk. I have flown over. But anyways, we're just headed into San Antonio right now, and if that young man is still listening, that his daughter had joined the Air Force here, going through basic training down here in San Antonio. Well, congratulations, and thank you again for her service, too. And back to you, Dale, good question, but I'm going to go with Truk. So that'd be W5PIX back to W5OG.
All righty, Cliff, mighty fine. Get that SDR turned back down. All right, got your answer as Delta. All right, let's go to Lee, W4PUO, and I may need you to bring him in there, John. He's probably not hearing me this morning. W4PUO, you're up, W5OG.
W4PUO, you're up, Lee, WA6LJS relay.
WA6LJS, go ahead.
Yeah, you're up, Dale's calling you.
Okay, W5OG, W4PUO. I'm sorry, Dale, I'm not copying, so I don't have the question, but that's okay. Just glad to be riding along here this morning, and your signal's about a 3x3, or just almost in the noise level. Got a little RFI going on here about every 10 seconds, so a combination of things. I'm going to just sit in here to listen for a little while, and then when my phone calls start, I'll have to skip out. Good to hear everybody this morning, and thanks for bringing me in. W4PO is 73 to all the flyers.
Yeah, okay, I copied it all. Let him know, John. Let him know that I got it 100% there. WA6LJS, W5OG.
Yeah, he heard you 100%, Lee. 73, WA6LJS.
Right, thanks for the relay, John. W4PUO.
All right, let's move along. We'll go to our guest, the motorcycle mobile, K6 Whiskey Foxtrot Victor. You're up for the net. Go ahead, Bob. W5OG. Did you say, where are you located there, Bob? Say that again. Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, a very lovely area there, especially to be out for a ride. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. Well, we're glad to have you with us. Thank you for your service. You said you were a Vietnam vet, so you'll have to come back and join us. Check out our website when you get the opportunity there. AirForcesFlyersClub.org. Anyway, Bob, have a good day. Be careful there on your bike. And we'll be back to you in our 73 round just in case you're monitoring and you'd like to come back in for that 73 round. Lee, N5BE, you're up next, W5OG.
W5OG N5BE. Dale, if it's okay with you, I'm going to put myself at the bottom of the list. I know the answer, and I don't know if you're going to talk about some of the buffoonery that took place during this operation, but I can fill in that story. So I'm going to place myself underneath Mike, K4YDB, and then we'll go from there if that's okay. W5OG N5BE.
Yeah, that'd be fine, Lee. You bet. I appreciate that. And I knew that we would be able to get some comments, probably from you and from some others there. And I'll have a few personal comments about this question myself. All right, let's move along. Let's go to John, WA6LJS. Good morning again, John. Did you get your air conditioner all fixed and working there? W5OG, you're up.
Yeah, W5OG, this is WA6LJS. Good morning to the net. Well, good conditions out here today. I'm hearing everybody on the local receiver, so that's good news. No, unfortunately I didn't. I was expecting them today. They were supposed to come yesterday, but they still didn't get the parts in. And I thought for sure today, but so far no luck. So it's probably going to be tomorrow. So before that compressor comes in. And that's okay because we're very overcast this morning. We got a very heavy marine front. Matter of fact, I can't even see the big hills behind the house here. There's so much fog out there. And it's only 60 degrees. So that's good. I hope it stays that way and be nice and cool. So I don't have to worry about not having air conditioning right now. Anyway, very good. Let's see. The question, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with D Delta, the Truck Lagoon. So put me down for Truck Lagoon, D Delta. And with that, I'll be here to the bottom. W5OG, WA6LJS.
All right, fine, John. And yeah, I know some of those things can be really frustrating, but as long as it's cool like that, there's not the pressure. You don't have the concern about the cooling. We're still using air conditioners here, by the way, but still beautiful weather. It was about 64 degrees this morning when I walked the little dog, and so it's very comfortable. I got the doors open and the windows. And nice fresh air, so but it'll warm up to the low 80s, I think, today. So we'll have the air conditioner, everything. We'll shut it all up and have the air conditioner running, I'm sure, before the day is over. Anyway, let's go up to Ray in New Jersey. WB2JJO. Good morning, Ray. You're up. W5OG.
W5OG from WB2JJO. Well, good morning to you, Dale, and good morning to all the flyers on the net. This is Ray here in good old southern New Jersey, where we have a temperature of 76 and it's cloudy. It's really a nice day here in southern New Jersey. You know what, there, Dale? I really like this history class. Yesterday's question and today's question. Boy, I tell you what, this happened in 1944, like you stated there, and I wasn't born yet, so I wasn't around to actually see it. But my answer is going to be Delta. Delta, I believe it's the truck lagoon. I might have seen that in one of the what you call war pictures that you see on TV from time to time. So I'm going to go with truck. That's just a guess, but I'm not really sure. So anyway, I definitely do appreciate the research on this, and like I said, this is one hell of a history class. I really love this net. So back over to you there, Mr. Dale, and thank you for your efforts. W5OG from WB2JJO.
Okay, Ray. Well, very few of us were around, actually, back then, and I was, by the way. But I was only like 4 years old, so I didn't remember this particular day. Mighty fine, Ray. Glad to have you with us. Let's go to Carl, KF7GJO. You're up, Sparky, W5OG.
Good morning, everybody. KF7GJO here. Well, thus far, surprisingly enough, the strongest signal this morning thus far has been WA6LJS. John there in Hamul. Josh, you bent the needle at 9 this morning. I couldn't believe it. I was all prepared to listen to you off of Utah, and boy, you just keep booming across that radio speaker. Well, Dale, a good question you asked this morning, and if you wanted to know the answer to that, you could read my book, The Indomitable Patriot, The Aviator. As an interesting aside, that particular chapter, and by the way, all those Patriot books were historically accurate fiction. But anyway, during that battle, I had Bill, W2WLV, flying a Hellcat off the Big East, the Enterprise, and sorry, Bill, but you got shot down, and had to made a nylon letdown, and then the USS Pang picked you up to take you back to Pearl. And where that battle was conducted was answer number D, Truck Apollo. So back to you, Dale, and I'll be with you to the end. W5OG. Been having trouble getting that out. W5OG, KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl. Yeah, OG. That's old guy. My wife says it's Old Grouch. But I sometimes think it's Olive Garden there. Anyway, very fine, Carl. And interesting about your book there. And also, I don't know if Bill knew about that, and he's in one of your books, but he's probably going to have to find a copy of that and read it for sure. All right, let's move along. We'll go to the Commander Bob, K1BOB. Go ahead, Bob. You're up, W5OG.
Okay, K1BOB, W5OG, and all the flyers of the net, and you good folks like Leon and Charlie for doing the net logger and doing the YouTube stream there. And thanks for running the net, Dale. Very good. Good question. Well, who am I not to be a lemming today? I'm pretty sure Delta is the answer. I've read about a lot of these places. It was probably, I think, one of the most one-sided battles in the leapfrog of the Pacific to get near the Japanese homeland. And I don't think we lost a single carrier. We probably lost a few aircraft, but it demolished Truk Island. They were left to try to rebuild, and then they got hit again.
with offshore fire. And that was it for Truck Island and the Japanese. They couldn't get any supplies in, medical or food, or sake for that matter, and it was a mess for them. So very one-sided, and I'll bet you, I might be wrong on my follow-up question is, you ever skin dived or scuba dived there? I kind of bet you did, because that's the big tourist spot for looking at all the stuff down under the water that sank and got shot out of the air. So that's my answer. And for K4YDB, yeah, that hurricane's coming offshore up your way. I think it's going to land in Appalachia Bay. Maybe it looks like the track's going to go right through Tallahassee. So it's going to be a mess for those folks there. I think they're talking for severe damage in this storm. So it looks like you'll escape the brunt of it, but I'd still chain myself to a palm tree trunk. Anyway, that's all we got here. Everybody's been coming in great today. I even heard the motorcycle mobile just fine. He changed a little bit. Maybe he was in motion, but boy, he's got a nice setup on his bike. I only had CB on my big Harley, but the guys I rode with did not have it, so I never used it, but I listened to the radio. Anyways, K4YDB, fine question, Dale. There'll be discussion on it, I'm sure. Back to W5OG, and good morning to all the flyers.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, mighty fine. Interesting. Yeah, the motorcycle mobile was the second when he took his turn in the net. He was pretty strong with me. Probably S7 or 8 there, so no worries with copying him at all. Let's go to Professor Bob, NX6RG. Good morning, Bob, W5OG.
W5OG, this is NX6RG. Good morning, Dale. Good morning to all the flyers. Well, it's a cool day up here, but I guess it's heading back up into the upper 90s, so it's going to turn from cool to warm today in a big way. That's an interesting question. I didn't know the answer to that, so I'm just going to go with the lemmings right now and go with answer Delta. I didn't recognize the name of the operation, so but I knew about the battle around truck for sure. And as our commander pointed out, that's a pretty popular location for diving now. In fact, let's see, my wife's sister and her husband went out there. That's been quite a few years ago, but they went out there diving. And lots to see on the bottom. Anyway, we'll go with answer Delta. I've been having fun here in the shack. I've been experimenting with the Nano VNA, the network analyzer, and also a small spectrum analyzer, nano spectrum analyzer. These things have a really small 4-inch screen, but boy, I'm pretty amazed at the capabilities of them. So anyway, I'm having fun in the shack doing that right now. I saw a headline today that's pretty concerning that China now exceeds our number of ICBMs, and they did that at about 5 times the speed that we estimated that they would come up with that number. So things not looking good on that front for sure. Anyway, with that, back to you, Dale, and I'll be here till the bottom. W5OG, NX6RG.
Yeah, it's a dangerous world, that's for sure, Bob. Very interesting, though. Thank you for that. And the comments, yeah, we'll talk about it here just shortly. When we get to the bottom of the list, and I'm sure we'll have some good discussion. Wild Bill, W2WLD, didn't notice you'd been shot down there. Bill. You're up, W5OG. Good morning again.
And it's not the last time I was shot down either. Very good. Good morning, all. Propagation is really great today. I'm enjoying it. When you talk about armchair copy, that's what we've got. It is raining, but it's welcome. This is the first rain I've seen in about 3 weeks. so hopefully the lawn will perk back up, and I'll get to mow it. Operation Hailstone, I guess I was there, although I wasn't born yet. I'm going to go with Delta. I think there's quite a lemming line there, but that did sound familiar to me, so put me down as Delta, please, Dale. W5OG, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill. Mighty fine. Glad to have your nice signal there every day now. That's very nice that you're back on the air with us. All right, let's go to Bob, K4YDB down there in Florida. Successfully evaded the storm. And you're up there, Bob. Good morning again. That'd be K4YDB, W5OG.
W5OG. This is K4YDB Remote. Good morning again to you, Dale. And good morning to all the flyers on here today. We don't have a very big list relay today for some reason.
Standby relay.
In Tampa, Florida, we lucked out really because the storm ended up parallel to us earlier, way out on the Gulf, much further out than was forecast, and we got nothing. It's sun shining bright outside, no rain, no wind, like nothing. And yet it's just about up by Tallahassee, Apalachicola, where they're going to be getting almost 100-mile-an-hour wind. So it's we really lucked out on that one, that's for sure. Usually we are on an inlet over here in the Tampa Bay area. Almost always these hurricanes or tropical storms continue up straight north on the Gulf and will hit the Panhandle or New Orleans or sometimes even Texas. And I know it's hit Galveston before. So we pretty well lucked out over here. Not that we've never had it, but it's kind of rare. So I wasn't too worried about that. The antenna is, just to be sure, I went over the other CCH in Luce yesterday, put the antenna down from 65 feet up all the way down to the nesting 22-foot level. I was debating whether to pull the 5 bolts out or not and tilt it over, but I decided to take a chance on it, so I'm glad I didn't do that. This way I could use it, and I would have had to been on one of the other antennas today had I done that. I'm glad I did that. On the question, Operation Hailstone was definitely out of Truk Island. So my answer also is Delta truck on that. Thanks for running the net, Dale. You're coming in really good, about 10 over 9 now. Most everybody's coming in really, really good. And Bill, W2WLB. Well, I don't know what you did with your station, Bill, but you're coming in like gangbusters now from Scotia, New York. Excellent signal. So back to you, Dale, and we'll be here till the end, and then we'll see you guys over on W5OG, K2YDB.
Okay, mighty fine, Bob. Yeah, I'm sure having your beam north there really helps your being able to receive Bill. So good comments. Glad the storm missed you, and I know that it's going to be headed right for Tyndall. In fact, they're probably getting it now. So I'm sure that they've evacuated all the aircraft, but Tyndall has been very heavily damaged there a time or two in the past, and let's hope that they go through this one unscathed there. All right, let's move along. We'll go to Joe, W5ABI. Good morning, Joe. You had a good signal this morning again. W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG and the Flyers, W5ABI.
Forgot to relay.
Clear
Stand
blue
by.
skies this morning. Beautiful day here in Las Cruces. No wind. It's about 71. Supposed to have a high of 90, so it's cooling down. We don't have to worry about hurricanes here. No hurricanes. Well, we did have one earthquake, but that's rare for New Mexico. Anyhow, thanks for running the net. Good morning to all the flyers. I don't know. I might have repeated myself. Hi. Anyhow, getting to your question, I'm going to go with Delta also, and we'll be here at the bottom. W5OG, W5ABI.
All right, Joe, mighty fine. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. I was listening to some hams down the band there earlier this morning, and one of them was from in New Mexico, and commenting about how they don't have much problems there with weather or earthquakes or things like that. So New Mexico is pretty safe area there, I guess, to live in. And I know that you like the Las Cruces area. All right, I neglected to pick up the relay. Who was the relay? And I guess there was an additional check in there. Who was the relay? Go ahead, W5OG.
Yeah, Dale, K4YDB. I heard very clearly, but I didn't get his call sign right. K4YDB. You want me to bring him in?
Yeah, please do there, Bob.
Yeah, K4YDB. Sir, are you there? Could you give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, your name and location, please? You've reached the Flyers.
Yeah, I copy you, Dave. Mighty fine, W5OG here, K0IVI. And I really don't know the answer to your question there. I'm sure that there are official records that you could perhaps locate on the internet. I know my dad was a veteran in World War II also, and all his records are there. My brother, WB5DRI, and I have, Brian especially, has found some of those records and retrieved those, and we've got them in digital format, and it's a pretty good record. But so I know that is available. And I don't know how to advise you. Maybe when Brian is on here, he can give you some more information about that. Would you have any knowledge about that, Bob? K1BOB, do you have any ideas there? Go ahead, W5OG.
Negative, other than what I look up on the internet. You're not going to get personal data like that, but that's interesting. K1BOB, back to now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, David, that's the information, I guess, that. But I think the family is entitled to get some of those records. Anyway, anything else for the net this morning, Dave, before we move on? K0IVI, W5OG. Okay, fine, David. 7-3 to you there in Beulah, Colorado. All right, let's move along. We'll go back to the net. The next one on the list would be Charlie, K4YDB. You're up, Charlie, W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, good morning again, Dale. Morning to all the flyers out there and all the visitors. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now, it's currently 68 degrees here. We're supposed to get up into the low 70s today. We're back under a tropical storm warning again, but that's are anticipating like 40-mile-an-hour winds around here. This far north from the hurricane, I can't see it, but anyway, and it's raining here right now. Yesterday was uneventful. It was just a lot of rain, a lot of thunder, lightning, and all that's pretty much settled down now. But we did pick up 2.8 inches of rain yesterday, and we're forecasted to pick up another 3 inches today. So hopefully we don't get too flooded out over here. But as far as the question goes, put me down for. I'll just go with Delta. I'll just go with the lemming lines. But that's all I got, Dale. Conditions so far are pretty good here. I've heard everybody on my radio. So anyway, I'll turn it back to you. W5OG, K4YDB. I'm back to net.
All right, mighty fine, Charlie, and thank you for the live stream there. That really does help to not only be able to see the net in progress, but also to get the questioning, without having to write it all down. So appreciate that. Okay, let's move along. Go to Mike, KF0OPE, Nebraska. You're up, Mike. Good morning to you, W5OG.
Well, good morning, Dale, and all the flyers and visitors on the net today. Good net. It's sunny, 71, on its way up to 84 here. It's going to be a great day. Fall is in full swing here. Harvest is going strong. Great. As to the answer to the question, I'm going to fall in line here. Delta, Truck Lagoon. And as a young man, I was an avid reader of Skin Diver magazine, and so I believe that's the correct answer. I read many articles about it. As to K0IBI's question, there's a couple things that I thought of. First would be the county veteran service officer in his county should be able to get his records, and also the Air Force Historical Agency at Maxwell Air Force Base. And then there's some other places, there's some National Archives, but if you Google where to find World War II service member records, they'll give you a whole list comes up. But that's where I would start. With that, I'll be here till the bottom. Back to W5OG Internet, KF0OPE.
Yeah, Google is a wonderful tool there for sure. Thank you for that. Interesting, Mike. And there was a break. Was there? Did I hear something? A break in there? Was there a breaking station? Go ahead, W5OG. I guess I was hearing things. All right. Well, let's move along then. KI7 Hotel Charlie Kilo in Yuma, Arizona. Larry, I don't think I brought you in yet as a guest. So if you're there, go ahead. W5OG. Well, I don't hear Larry, but I expect I would. The conditions are pretty good today. So how about Brian from Oregon, N6 Bravo Bravo Delta? If you're there, go ahead you're up for the net, W5OG. All righty, I don't hear him either. So we'll put him down as not responding. Okay, next would be Lee. Let me go ahead and give the answer to the question, and let me, before I do that though, let me take a quick standby to see if I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody through the initial list there? Call now, W5OG. Okay, I don't hear anyone. All right, the question had to do this morning with history back in the World War II in the Pacific Theater. concerning Operation Hailstone, was a massive United States Navy air and surface attack on 17-18 February, conducted as part of the American offensive against the Imperial Japanese Navy. In all, during the 2 days of Operation Hailstone, a total of 45 Japanese ships were sunk, more than 220,000 tons of shipping, which was a 2-day record for the entire World War. The question is, which of the following islands was the location for Operation Hailstone? Was it A, Peleliu? No, Peleliu was a naval headquarters for the Japan back in World War II, but it is over in Palau, which is on the other side of the Micronesian chain. The answer B was Koror, which is another one there in Palau. And answer C, it was Guam, and no, it was not Guam. It was, in fact, Truck Lagoon, which was answered Delta. Most of you got, well, everybody got that, which I had fully intended that everybody would, because I think most of us are familiar now enough on this frequency with having talked about it in the past. But, yeah, and I think I'm going to go over to you here, Lee, shortly, just for your comments about it. But a little bit of information. It was a Navy patrol airplane discovered that the Japanese fleet was in the harbor there at Truk on the 4th of February. But they didn't get around to actually massing the attack until the 17th. All of the warships had been removed from Truk. So they didn't get much other than a few of the, quite a few. The number of 45 ships were sunk. But anyway, they were not the warships. There are not too many of the warships were left, and including the two big carriers that were in there. But they successfully evaded, knowing that they were going to be hit. And as far as the diving, yes, it is a very popular area to go to Truck Lagoon, and my son and I went there back in, 85, I guess, something like that, when I was stationed at Guam, and my 12-year-old son and I went to Truck and enjoyed a week of diving, and we did dive several of the wrecks, including the Fujikawa Maru, which is sitting at, I think the deck is at about the 130-foot level, which is right at sports diving limit. It's a relatively deep lagoon there. That's one of the benefits of that protected area. Anyway, the Japanese used it extensively in the war as a headquarters area. So it's a very interesting place to visit. Just the land stuff, plus all of there's zeros that are sunk there in the area, and some of those are diveable at depths that you don't have to use scuba. You can just free-dive. And there were a couple of other ships that we dove, including the San Francisco Maru. But I have a picture of my son sitting in a zero in the hold of the Fujikawa Maru. So yes, we have been aboard that ship at the bottom of Truck Lagoon. It's very, very interesting, and you always dive with a dive master there, a Truckies or Chuckies. It's like the Chamorro people. The native folks are called Chuckies. But anyway, Truk is a very interesting place, and you can read about it, and just Google Truk, and you can find out all sorts of interesting information about it. But that Operation Hailstorm was very interesting to me. And anyway, and I'll have some more to say about that later, because we also dove some wrecks there at Palau. Anyway, over to you, Lee, N5BE, for any additional comments. Go ahead, Lee, W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG N5B. For the gentleman looking for records, he could find his relative's DD-214 online, and from that, get the unit he was in. I'm sure that's on there, or where he was. And then from there, you could go to Circle Records online maybe even unofficial histories of that unit, and get more information. I did that with an uncle that I never met who was on a photo recon mission over France before D-Day and was lost and never found. So yeah, there's a lot of information out there on the internet. Relative to this question, I love this question, Dale. This is good stuff. Right up my historical nerd alley. There was some buffoonery that took place during this operation, and they're darn lucky they escaped. Admiral Mitchell was in overall command. There was a surface element of this with the battleships Iowa and New Jersey, and Admiral Spruance won in on the Glory. So overall command was shifted to Spruance as some Japanese ships are exiting north out of the lagoon trying to get away, and Spruance wanted a surface engagement. This would be the very only surface engagement by those battleships during World War II. Where the buffoonery took place was these ships had already been targeted by the air element. The air element was waved off so that the Spruance could get some glory. What Spruance and the U.S. Navy still did not recognize was the lethality of the long-lance torpedo. And there were destroyers in the Japanese element, and they let loose. It is a miracle that those torpedoes missed those ships. But they sunk all of them but one escaped, which could have been targeted by the air element. So just to get in on the kill, they almost screwed the pooch. Later in the evening, there was some night attacks. The USS Intrepid was struck by a long-lance torpedo. A number of sailors are killed and put the carrier out of action for a month. So despite the night fighters' wall up there, this one aircraft got through, dropped the torpedo, and hit a ship. So that's the backstory on this one. Just a fascinating story, and thanks for letting me provide a little more info, Dale. I appreciate it. W5OGN5BE.
Yeah, very interestingly. Yeah, I had not heard that particular story. But I do know that there was a lot of stuff like that went on in World War II, where they wanted to, to shift the glory around a bit. And most of the times those they compromised what should have happened and the most successful way to get the job done. The other comment that I'll make is that the success of this action of Operation Hailstone, it precluded a ground invasion of trucks, and they completely neutralized with almost on that over the 2-day event. And then there was some follow-up mop-up action that went on, but and as somebody already mentioned, they prevented any rebuild up of. I think Bob mentioned that they prevented any reoccupation by Japan to bring a truck back to use in the war. So they completely neutralized it without a ground invasion, without the manpower loss of going in the ground there. So it was a very successful operation overall, and it's very interesting today because of the historical effects. And yes, it is a very popular dive location. There, it is on the somewhere or another. The U.S. Park keeps track of those things. The Park Administration, whatever it is, keeps track of that, and they monitor what's going on over there at Truck. And it is a very interesting place for scuba diving for sure. Anyway, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do that, and glad that my son and I, we went down there with another young couple, a captain that was working for me at the time and his wife, and thoroughly enjoyed our week that we spent there. And we'll talk about it some more, perhaps today or anytime, because I enjoy talking about it because it was a fun part of our lives, and you know, something that my son and I will never, ever forget for sure. All right, let me just take a quick standby and see if we have any additional check-ins. We'll go through a quick 73 round. W5OG, anybody else like to join the Air Force's Flyers Club Net? Last call for check-ins. Go ahead. Kilo Alpha 5 Delta, do I have that right? All right, give us your name and where you are in New Mexico there. Go ahead. Okay, well, you're right near one of our members that's on the, if you're going through Las Cruces, are you hearing Kyle there locally, Joe, W5ABI, W5OG?
No, I'm not hearing him, Dale, W5ABI.
Okay, well, he's near you, I guess, probably too close for Skip there for sure. But it's the Kilo Alpha 5 Delta. Kyle from Austin, Texas, currently who's going home from Tucson, Arizona, and passing through New Mexico there. Anything else for the net there, Kyle? Before we move on, go ahead, W5OG.
Heading east towards Austin, Texas, which is home, and enjoying the discussion. Back to net, K4YDB.
Okay, well, we're happy to have you join us. So come back and join us anytime you can. And we've got a lot of folks from Central Texas there that check in periodically. So check out our website also, airforcesflyersclub.org when you get a chance. All right, any other check-ins this morning before we start the 73 round? Call now, W5OG. Kilo Juliet 4 Alpha Alpha Alpha. Do I have that right? Kilo Zanzibar 4 AAA. Very interesting. Your name in QTH, over. Is it James, James? All right, James. Well, we've got you there. KZ4 AAA. And you're in Holt, Florida, is that right? You're right in that storm right now, are you not? Yeah, you're just west of it there, closer to Pensacola. I know where Holt is. You're right near Eglin Air Force Base, actually. So mighty fine, James. Anything else for the net this morning? Go ahead. Yeah, I know where Holt is, right there outside of Eglin. Well, mighty fine, James. Glad to have you join us, and check out our website. We're on here every morning, so come back and join us. All right, let's go ahead and start the 73 round. W5PIX Mobile. If you're there, Cliff, go ahead. You're up. W5OG.
W5OG, W5PIX Mobile here, and thank you, Lee, for carrying on a little bit there, because I was out opening the doors and backing up to the dock down here in England. So, anyways, well, Truck is a beautiful island. Flew over it many times, but I've never had that privilege of scuba diving on it or snorkeling. But I did snorkel there in Guam, so I did enjoy that. So, anyways, and if anybody's monitoring the weather channels for the hurricane net there, we got 14325. Is for 20 meters if anybody's wanting to watch monitor that, or 70, what did I give you, 7320 I believe it is, for 7340 for the 40 meter net. So
anyways, everybody's got the option to monitor. This is W5PIX back to net there.
Yeah, okay, Cliff. Yeah, sorry I didn't mention that earlier. You gave that to me before the net there. It's 7240, 7.240 for the hurricane net on 40 meters and 14.325 on 20 here for the hurricane net. So both of them are up and going. So if you want to find out more about the hurricane and its position and what's going on, you can join that net there, or either of those two nets. All right, mighty fine, Cliff. Drive carefully, and we'll see you over on Echolink after the net here. All right, let's go to the motorcycle mobile, if he's still there. K6 Whiskey Foxtrot Victor. Bob, if you're still there, you're up. W5OG. No, I don't hear him. Let's go on to John. WA6LJS, 73 round, John, W5OG.
Okay, thanks, Dale. Yeah, good net this morning. I'm not having trouble hearing anybody. Everybody's coming in locally here. 73s, and I'll be back to Echolink for a few minutes. W5OG, WA6LJS.
Okay, John. Dale, thanks for the help today with the relays, and hope you get that air conditioner going today. All right, let's go to Ray, WB2JJO, 73 round, Ray, W5OG.
W5OG from WB2JJ. Well, I'll tell you what there, Dale, outstanding net as usual. Like I said, this is a very historical net, a lot of good information. I'm surprised they don't teach this stuff in schools. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys would make great teachers, that's for sure. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I've got an appointment tomorrow morning early. I'm not sure I'm going to be back in time for tomorrow's net. But anyway, I enjoyed this one here. And I want to say thank you to our resident historian there, N5CE. And he's a top-notch net logger. I don't know how he does it, but boy, he does it. I definitely appreciate that. So with that there, Dale, I'll say 7 threes, and I'll probably catch you on Echolink. W5OG, WB2JJO, we're clear.
Okay, Ray. Yeah, we'll see you over on Echolink there for a few minutes. Let's go to Carl, KF7GJO. Go ahead, Carl. You're up for the 73 round, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, thanks. And Bill, if you can hear me, just a little saving grace after you get back to Pearl, you're promoted to Lieutenant Commander and given command of Black Cat Catalina Squadron. And while patrolling the Philippine Sea, you discovered the Japanese fleet that's sailing towards the Philippines for the invasion of the Philippines and the infamous turkey shoot out there. So, hey, you may have got shot down, but you ended up a hero. Okay, great net this morning, Bill. You've just outdone yourself. Everybody have a fantastic day. We'll try this again tomorrow. W5OG KF7, G Dale.
Okay, Carl. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, let's go to Bob. K1BLB, W5OG.
W5OG, thank you very much for net, Dale. Great question. Lots of good comments from everybody. Very interesting subject. Perfect choice there for a question. And, I relayed in Dave, K0IVI, I think I said YBI. You can understand that, can't you? K1BLB.
Yeah, mighty fine, Bob. Okie dokie. We'll see you over on Echolink. Let's go to Bob, NX6RG. Go ahead, Bob. 7-3 round, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG. This is NX6RG. Boy, I'll tell you, K-Bob, you are 10 dB over F9 here this morning. That's unusual. You're booming in here. Anyway, Dale, I was going to mention one thing. I don't know if you look at this day in aviation, it's not something you see normally. Google it and bring it up because today there's a very interesting story about an HH-53 rescue in Cambodia. And I was impressed with the technique the pilot used to to get down and extract the OV-10 aircraft or the crew that was shot down. So anyway, it's an interesting story, and you probably already know about it, but it's an interesting story about an HH-53 rescue in Cambodia. Anyway, with that, 73s to the Flyers. Great question today. Lots of terrific comments. Learn a lot today. W5OG, NX6RG.
You're 20 over, Bob.
Okay, Bob, mighty fine, and John he gives you a 20 over report, so you're booming in down there in Southern California. Let me ask you a question. Was that particular Cambodian rescue, was that in 72, I believe?
Boy, now I don't remember the date. I'd have to go back and look it up. It was flown by a Coast Guard pilot. So, I mean, it's an interesting story, remember?
Yeah, we had some coasties that were, were assigned to us there when I was at with the Jollies at Da Nang. And they were, what do you call it, transfer folks, and they were always gung-ho guys. So, yeah, mighty fine. I remember this, but I was already back at Hill as an instructor there with a rescue unit, and didn't happen while I was in country. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, there was another pilot that was involved with it that went on to be a general officer. If it's the one I'm thinking, and he was a student of mine when he went through the schoolhouse there. Anyway, mighty fine there, Bob. We'll move along, and we'll see you perhaps over on Echolink if you can join us. And I was going to ask you a question though, Bob, before I leave. You said was it your sister or your who was it that went to truck and dove the wrecks there, Bob?
Oh, it's my wife's sister and her husband. Over.
Your wife's sister. Yeah, mighty fine. Well, I would be curious to know how deep they dove. Did they make any comments about the depths that if they actually went aboard some of those wrecks? They are at the limit of sports diving depths. Did they make any comments about that, Bob?
Well, the only comment, I think they had a good time there, but her husband, by the way, was a naval officer, and they went diving, and he ended up with a punctured eardrum on that, and that ended his dive career. Over.
Oh my goodness! Well, I know that like I say, it was right at the limits of the sports diving. Now you can use some special oxygen mixtures and things, changing the nitrogen level and so forth to go deeper. But we did not do that. My son and I both went to probably 150 feet, which is the deepest that I have been actually in scuba diving. And we dove with the dive master that keeps track of your downtime and all that stuff. We could do a deep dive in the morning and then a shallower dive in the afternoon after lunch. But then we did that each day. So we'd do a deep dive in the morning and then a shallower dive in the afternoon. But we did go to the limits almost every time. To get on some of those wrecks, you had to go to the 130-foot limit. Anyway, that's all interesting to me. I enjoyed that period in my life very, very much. All right, let's go to Bill, W2WLD, 7-3 round, Bill, W5OG.
Yeah, thank you, Dale. Great question. Really enjoyed the discussion and the history lesson and Lee's comments. Really enjoyed the net. Thank you. Everyone have a great day. 73 W5OG, W2 WLB.
Yeah, fine, Bill. The other thing that I remember about that is in one of those cargo holds, which is, and part of the thing when you go poking around some of those old wrecks, and of course the beautiful coral formations that these things are becoming part of the reef, the natural reef there, and it's just, it's just a beautiful sight to see. and there's a lot of marine life associated with it because that reef, then the structure supports the additional marine life. But anyway, the one of the things that I recall, in addition to, somebody mentioned sake, there was a lot of sake bottles around, but also there were bicycles on the side, hung up, probably 100 of them in one of the cargo holds. So I don't know what they were doing with so many bicycles, but they were shipping bicycles along with the Zeros. And they had, like I say, I have a picture of my son sitting in the cockpit of a Zero at the bottom of the ocean there. Anyway, let's move along. We'll go to Joe, W5ABI, 7-3 round, Joe, W5OG. Yeah, stand by the station in Florida. Go ahead, Joe, for the 73 round.
W5OG, W5ABI. Yeah, good net. Really good question. I learned a lot. Thanks for running the net. 73's all the flyers. W5OG, W5ABI.
All right, Joe. Yeah, 7-3 to you. Have a good day. Who was the 4 in Florida? Go ahead. What's your comment there? W5OG. Okay. I didn't get all that. You're right at my noise. Is it? And I know you. I had you down here before. I don't see you on the list now. KQ4. Give me your call again there, if you would. W5OG. W5OG. Yeah, you got my call correct, and I've got yours now. Kilo, Quebec 4, Tango, Delta, Quebec. Give me your name right quick there, W5OG. I got part of it. Is it Alfred? Yes, 10-4. Okay, Alfred. Well, we're glad to have you join us there, Alfred. From Spring Hill, Florida, it says. Yeah, we've got you up now on NetLogger. All right, mighty fine. Anything else for the net there this morning, Alfred? Go ahead, W5OG. Yeah, you're about an S4, just above the noise for me here with your 15-foot of wire. Mighty fine, Alfred. Well, I hope that the storm is not affecting you too much. So, anyway, thanks for checking in with us. 7-3 to you. Have a great day. Let's move along. K2SJP. Bob, you're up for the 73 round, W5OG. K2SJP, are you there, Bob? Yeah, he must have gotten a phone call or something. All right, let's see. Did I skip over? No, I got Joe checked out. I must have skipped over Bob there initially. Well, let's go to Charlie. K4YDB, 7-3 round, Charlie, W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, good net today. It was a good question. I did enjoy it. Anyway, 73s, everybody, have a good day. We will try this again tomorrow. K4YDB, back to net.
All right, Charlie. Thanks for doing that live stream. That really helps out. All right, Mike, KF0OPE, 7-3 round, Mike, W5OG.
Great net today, Dale. Fun question. Really enjoyed it. Maybe catch everybody on Echo Link. Back to W5OG in the net, KF0OPE.
Okay, Mike, have a great day, and yeah, we'll see you on Echo Link there. Lee, N5BE, any final comments there, Lee? You're up for the 73 round, W5OG.
W5OG N5BE, I really enjoyed this question, and I've been struggling to come up with some market garden questions for the net since market garden took place right about this time 80 years ago. So I have sprinkled some other questions out there for some of the net controllers, but nothing on Martin Garden. But thanks, Dale. I really enjoyed this today, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. W5OGN5BE 73.
Okay, finally, and I appreciate the question that you sent me, by the way, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that next Thursday, and it'll be a good follow-on to this one, actually. Not historical nature, but at least in the Pacific Theater there. My favorite, obviously. And I do appreciate your help there, Lee, with the net logging. That's for certain. That really helps out a lot. I see there was some other comment I wanted to make. I can't think of what it was. Doesn't matter. It'll come to me. But we'll see you over on Echolink. All right, let me go over and see if Bob is back. K2SJP, are you back for the 73 round, Bob? W5OG. He is not there. Must have gotten called away. All right, well, that's through the bottom of the list. Unless I miss anybody. Did I miss anybody for the 73 round? Call now, W5OG. Okay, let me take a quick standby. Last call. Any other check-ins before we close the net? Call now, W5OG. Well, all I hear is silence, so we'll go ahead and shut down the net, and we'll QSY over to Echolink. We have the Echolink node, AFFC. It's under the conference tab of Echolink. You can find us there. Do appreciate all the participation and your patience with me, your humble net coordinator, I guess, and with my recollections of Truck Lagoon and allowing me to bring it up as a subject for today's discussion. I enjoyed it. And we'll see you all again tomorrow. We'll be back again for another net with, I guess, Mike's going to be back. WW5ENZ will have the net for Friday. So 7-3 all for now. We'll see you over on Echolink, those that can make it. Everybody else, we'll see you on the net tomorrow morning. W5OG now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club net this Thursday morning, returning the frequency to normal amateur use.